Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back, y'all, with a brand new review for Ready to Love, Make a Move, Season 1, Episode 7. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Zia is still at the party waiting for Mr. Cameron to arrive. Baby, she looking at the door and everything. So she said, if he doesn't show, then he's definitely going home. Deuces, because she is not about to let him play in her face the way Kirsten is playing in Ashley's face. So he finally arrives like I knew he would with a gift, and he thought she liked yellow, so he made sure that all of the gifts had something yellow. I personally think that this was just some stuff that production came up with to give the episode a little bit of a wow factor. This man has consistently shown up on time for every single thing. Now, all of a sudden, when it's Zia's birthday, he shows up late. Okay. So he comes on in, and she's saying, that she realizes that she actually likes him because when he wasn't there, she was in a mood. Well, honey, we realized it when Sharice had to open that door up because she was up there knocking in the AM. Okay? Baby, we been realized it. Okay? So he was just saying that he was late because he picked up extra hours at the pharmacy, but he's making the time that needs to be made, and Zia is really supportive. So he sits down, he eating. Here goes Zia. Oh, so you just came for the food? She hate a person with a plate. That's the same thing that happened to Daddy Dante. Soon as he ate that risotto, he was done. Oh, child. As soon as they get a plate, honey. And Zia, I know you ain't talking, girl. You went back to that buffet line at least a good 4 or 5 times before he arrived. So let that man eat. He was like, well, I haven't really eaten today. Cameron, you do not have to explain. If Cantrell, who ain't done nothing all day, can sit there and sweat and eat his lemon pepper all flats fried extra hard, then you can sit there and eat your plate as well. Over on the other side, Vernisha goes to get a drink, and baby Ezel almost broke his damn neck to go over there and try to fix it. And yes, I know his name is Mazel, but his attitude gives Ezel, so Ezel it is. So he over there right on Vernisha's tail, asking all these questions. How long y'all been knowing each other? How long y'all been living together? Trying to make sure they ain't that cool. So Vernisha was like, even though he's for Sharice and he's her keeper, he's handsome, and like Tamica say, everybody fair game. Now, Vernisha, normally, you don't cause no problems. But this is just my opinion, okay? Because I know y'all gonna tell me what y'all think. Like, nah, Misha, she cool. Look, I didn't like the fact that you gave him your number knowing that that's her keeper. I'm surprised at you. Him, not so much. And the reason why I'm surprised at Vernisha is because if y'all remember from the Houston season, when they got to the retreat, where everybody gets together in that one house for that weekend, she was pissed at Joel because he was showing interest in Kyra. Y'all remember that? And I mean pissed, because here I am cultivating a relationship with you, and you over here telling them in the gentleman's lounge that it's Kyra for you. So I don't really understand how you could betray me that way. Now, granted, her and Mizell are not a couple, but girl, come on now. I don't know. Just something about that didn't sit well in my spirit. So after Cameron arrived, the party officially got started. Moving forward. In the next scene, it's the next day. So Ashley and Vernisha are in the kitchen getting something to eat. So Vernisha asked about Kirsten, and Ashley was like, girl, I ain't heard nothing from him. And you better dismiss him just like you did Donald. Donald missed one text message, and he was on the I-10 by 10. So you better dismiss Kirsten the same damn way. Over at the table, Sharice and Zia are talking, and Sharice is telling Zia about how thrown off she was by Danzy. Getting there acting like that was her man. Like, sir, we're not together. But she did say she really liked Mizell. Back over with Ashley and Vernisha in the kitchen, she's telling Ashley that she had Tabari, but he played too much, Cantrell, and he's sweating like hell, but Mizell was showing interest too. And Ashley said, oh, okay, girl, you got all of them. In the back of Ashley's mind, she probably thinking, and you bet not look at Donald. Y'all know how Ashley get. She probably thinking, you better not take your ass over there where Donald at. So Sharice is still at the table telling Zia that she's keeping Mizell. So she's singing his praises. And over there with Vernisha, she waiting for him to ask her out on a date. Ashley and Vernisha go over there and join Sharice and Zadia. So they're all sitting there. So Sharice looks at the table and she goes, so what do y'all think of Mizell? Here go Ashley knowing the tea. She was like, no, he's, pretty stand-up guy. He seems pretty cool. Girl. So Vernisha goes, girl, yeah, about Mizell. He's been texting me, okay, calling me. And he asked me out on a date and, I'm considering it. So Sharice said, oh, okay, well, at least he's texting somebody. Now, she acted like she was cool with it, but she was low-key hurt because she had just told Zadia how much she liked that man. I don't know, y'all. I would not have entertained him if it were me. Just off GP. I'm not about to text you, call you, give you my number. You're not even on my roster. Okay, so why would I entertain him? Absolutely not. I would have been like, look, listen here, cat daddy. It ain't gonna happen. Weren't you over there with Sharice cha-cha sliding? Okay, therefore and thus and such, it's a hell now. Mizell saw all that body and that side boob Vern was serving. That's why he went over there. He is low down. Baby, that was a mess. So they all go in to meet with Tamica. And so she's asking, how their dates and everything was going. She asked Ashley about Don. And she said, he passed the test. He's been texting me. And I feel like he's really into me. Kirsten, on the other hand, has ghosted her. So then we move over to Sharice. And Sharice is telling Tamica about Mizell and how she liked him. And she was telling Zadia. So Tamica goes, okay, so were any of the men out of bounds? Vernisha said, out of bounds or are they fair game? I said, oh, baby. So she starts telling Tamica about how Mizell asked for her number and how he's been texting, asking to take her out on a date. Mizell can go to hell. Because why would you ask for Vernisha's number? Granted, she's a beautiful woman, but that just wasn't cool. This is not a singles mixer. You're there for the person who brought you there. And I'm confused with you, Vernisha, as to why you accepted. So Tamica is like, well, you and him looked cozy on that couch, Sharice, so I'm a little bit confused. I'm not. I knew he was an old school player. I knew it. I am shocked at Vernisha after seeing how they were vibing. You would think she would be like, okay, so I saw him and Sharice, and they seem to be, whatever. So, yeah, it's a no, but they're saying that it's fair game, but I'm confused. I really am. Sharice was taken aback by his disrespect, and she was saying that it was fair game, but in front of Tamica, she was upset about it. So I don't know what's going on. In the next scene, they're having a mixer with the men. Kirsten showing up like he ain't been missing. Sir, where the hell have you been? Ashley almost put you on side of a milk carton. Come walking up in here acting like you ain't been missing. Vernisha is irritated because Tabari played too much, and he showed up making jokes. Kirsten is asking Ashley how her day is going. The way in which I would have escorted his ass out, because it's obvious that you aren't interested in me. I cannot stand when people act like everything is cool knowing you've been MIA. You act funny with me, I'ma act funny with you. So Sharice asked Mizell to make her a drink. Oh, baby, he a pro at making drinks. She better ask Vernisha. He said, oh, yeah, let me make you a drink. So he brings it back over. He was like, it's good to see you. She said, is it really? He said, yeah, it's really good to see you. She said, you ain't been calling me. He said, well, I haven't been calling anyone. Yeah, I'm not texting or calling anyone. I wasn't going to call you because it's too late. She said, you called other people. He said, I didn't call anybody. Well, technically he's right. Vernisha said he had been texting her, not calling her. So he is telling the truth that he didn't call anyone. He texted her. He said, well, I did, text. And he's talking about Vernisha. So she's telling him that she was surprised that he was texting Vernisha. He's talking about, well, I'm interested. He has a very slick way with words. I'm interested. Interested in who? He leaves it open-ended for your own interpretation. So Tamica comes over and he tells her that the only reason he asked Vernisha for her number was because his bag got lost and Vernisha actually stayed there with him and she was very endearing. Sir, cut the crap. You were following that lady behind and all her cleavage all around that party. Playing good old Tom and Jerry. You were eyeing her before you lost that bag. Please cut the crap. You wanted to and you did. And Tamica straight called him out. He was like, well, I was under the impression that we could ask anyone out. Okay, so which is it? Are you into them both, or are you just into Sharice? Because now you're downplaying the reason that you even asked Vernisha for her number, which makes absolutely no sense. She's not a charity case, and she didn't need to converse with you after staying with you to find your damn bag. I wouldn't waste time. He too old to be doing all that lying. That is a red flag, and I do not know why Vernisha would even entertain him after he was cozy on that couch with Sharice. Sharice, I would definitely let him know. Okay, I would be moving forward. So then he gonna tell Tamica, well, you know what? Now I know. So thank you for teaching me. I'm learning. No, sir. You knew that before you did it. This is a preview to you being cheated on. Okay? Let's just be very clear. If he gonna do this now, he cannot be trusted. Southern Charm New Orleans, Tamica came out then, honey. She's like, you knew what you did. You think we don't talk? Why are you doing that? It's a respect thing. I know that's right, honey. Call him out. They don't know the real Tamica Lee, baby. Y'all better get over on the Peacock and watch her season of Southern Charm New Orleans. She is not the one or the two. So Sharice is sitting with him, and she tells him that she's not feeling him anymore and she's moving in a different direction. So he gonna say, oh, wow. Oh, boy, goodbye. What are you talking about? Boy, gone. Talking about some, oh, wow. Then he gonna say, well, you know how to contact me. I'll just give you some space. You not even dressed right anyway. Kick rocks. Go on, sir. Over on the other side, Zia and Cam, they sit down to, talk about what's going on. So Cam is telling her that he's creating time to be there for her, but he's often wondering if he should be taking time away from what he's doing. When he sees her, he realizes that he does want to be there where she is, and he wants to make time for her. So, of course, Zia keeps him yet again. Duh. Honey, we already knew that was going to happen. He said he's ready to continue to grow with her. Now, what I did notice is that these two seem to really be hitting it off. She also seems softer with him. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Even in her confessionals, I think he's allowing her to let her guard down. It's good to see. It's really good to see. Moving forward. In the next scene with Kirsten, Ashley is wasting her breath on him, doing all that talking. He's talking about, I'm sorry, I'm going to do better. Anyway, you didn't even acknowledge the fact that you weren't present in the first place. She had to bring it to your attention. You should have immediately pulled her to the side and said, listen, I know that I was not present at Zadia's rooftop dinner or whatever it was, but my apologies, this happened. You just showed up like you were there. Girl, let that man go. He's there to be as seen on TV. He don't like you like that. So she's telling him she deserves more, so she's moving in another direction. He said, that's good. I respect it. And then took his last sip of water out of his water bottle. So she gets upset that he didn't say more, telling him she wanted him to fight for her. The only thing that man was fighting was traffic. He let it go so easily because he was never invested to begin with. Ashley, get a clue. And don't play these games. Mean exactly what it is that you say. Now, I believe you know the right choice, Ashley. I really do. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, girl. But you want men to prove that they want you, that are proving that they don't? He proved that when he was up there flirting with Stormy. Let the doorknob hit him with a good Lord split him. Girl, please. He isn't worth any of your time. You made the right choice, and it's no need to be chasing him outside, asking him why he not fighting for you. He ain't fighting because he don't want to. Now she's mad. She in the kitchen telling Tamica, I let him go, but, I like him. He's good looking. Tamika's like, no, you like the idea of him. And that's absolutely right. Ashley, we're going to have to get you some therapy because you all over the dang on place. I know you not crying over Kirsten. No, ma'am. So Vernisha pulls Tabari to the side. She tells him that she loves how free-spirited he is. And, he would be a balance for her because she's not as free-spirited as that. But she does want to know if he can be serious and let people see who he really is. So she decides to keep him around. I don't know, maybe it's nerves, but nobody wants a man that play all day. I want you to introduce them to the man that she met on the first date. That's the man that made her keep you around. Get it together, Tabari. So everything's underway, right? We see Donald show up saying Tamica called him, telling him he needs to come rescue Ashley, so he dropped everything. Ashley needs to rescue herself. Child, please, you was at that corner. You ain't dropped nothing. You was at the corner, child. Ashley was happy when he came, and they sat down, they started talking, and he was saying that he dropped everything to be there for her, and baby, she just lit up like a Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center. Do y'all hear me? So she asked what he wanted from her. She's like, what you want from me for real? You know, fishing for compliments and whatnot. He said, a solid friendship. To grow into an impeccable relationship. And child, he said to grow as friends. Anyway, sounds good, but I feel like Donald just be talking. He be saying any old thing, not to grow as friends and have an impeccable relationship. Anyway, Ashley's like, well, you've been texting me all day and you really been putting in the work. I like the way you make me feel, so I'm keeping you. Girl, he wasn't even in the running for real. See, this is what I'm saying. This show has no structure. At this point, Charisse might as well call mute Maurice, because this just don't make no sense. Everybody doing whatever the hell they want to do. Tamica, get a hold of this show. Girl, what is going on? In the next scene, Vernisha and Ashley go on a double blind date. I hope Ashley not mad at this dress Vernisha wearing, because you all know how she like to do. So they're learning Zydeco. And I love dancing Zydeco with my family from New Orleans, because baby, they gets down with it. Do you hear me? I've been doing that since elementary school. And I have to say, side note, these two men are handsome. Ashley asked why they were single after they got done dancing. One of them said by choice. The other one said he was in a long-term relationship, but it just didn't work out. So they started asking their occupations. And I ain't gonna lie, honey, I was a little smitten with Mike until I found out he was 31. I said, oh, child. He was big and fine. And at the time, I was thinking, yes, ma'am. I can see him and Vernisha being a couple. Two big, fine people. Oh, baby, that's everything. But these two men started trying to prove who had the bigger D. One was in the military, but he can't swim. One slid down a volcano. I was like, sir, what? You slid down a volcano? Okay. Vernisha was actually liking Mike until she heard that he was 31. And I feel her on that, though. Because 31 is a bit too young. And she already had 3 kids. I don't see her wanting any more. I'm sure he may want to start a family. And, he's still grown. Don't get me wrong. But Vernisha is 42. So me at 41, I would not look at a 31-year-old and be like, yeah, got to get that. No, thank you. Now, I did think it was kind of rude for Vernisha to call him a baby. She was like, oh, you a baby. You a baby. That's a grown man. Don't diminish him like that. You could have just been like, oh, okay. Duly noted. Like, y'all got to know how to word your stuff, honey. It just ain't making no sense. In the next scene, Charisse and Zadia go on a blind date with Brandon and Will. So Will arrives first. And I don't know why Zadia going out, because we all know it's Cameron for her. So they're making pottery. And she allows Charisse to choose who she wanted to go do the solo date with. And she chose Will. Over with Zadia and Brandon, they're making this pottery. And baby, them hand movements were giving hand job. I said, oh, child. This right here on a first date, honey. So Brandon is telling Zadia that he works a lot, so he wants to work now so that he'll be able to live his dream life later. And Zadia gonna say, well, I already have someone who works too much. Zadia, do you want a bum? Okay, baby, these men gotta work. I don't mind my man working to achieve his dreams. I don't want you to have too much time on your hands, because idle time is a recipe for foolishness. If I call you and you always at the house, baby, it's a no for me. Like, no. Over with Will, he's telling Charisse that he works for a nonprofit that supports fatherless boys. And I love that. And she asked what made him get into that. He said he has a 6-year-old, but it didn't work out with their mom. The mom is great and whatnot. Now, the child is a little bit too young. And Charisse is definitely not going to be interested because he has kids. Now, I don't know why she's sitting here pretending, but really and truly, I think she's going along with it because she has no keeper. He seems like a very nice guy, but I don't know if I buy that Charisse is all into him. So Will tells her, if she moves to New Orleans, he would have her back. I really admired his communication skills. He communicates very effectively. I really like that. In the next scene, Dawn is at the crib setting up a nice dinner for Ashley, or at the Airbnb, honey. I don't know. These shows be doing all kinds of stuff. So she comes on in, tell me, you cook for me? Let me see. So she sits down, she starts eating. Not a grace was said. I'm like, oh, child, please, at least say Jesus wept, and then start eating. So she starts eating, saying that the place was nice. In the confessional, she says she can see herself living there with Donald. Ashley, please. So they start playing this card game, and it's a game of questions. One of the questions was, who hurt you and what did you do to heal? And that question was directed at Donald. He said, he's never been in a healthy relationship ever. And the last one was the worst one of all. And after he got out of that relationship, he did some self-reflecting and he started to heal. So she said, okay, so what's one thing that you haven't revealed to me? He said, I told you I used to be married, right? She said, no, you did not. Now Ashley got yet another problem because she thought that they had talked about everything. Ma'am, y'all are just getting back on track. Him being married previously is not a huge deal. As long as y'all don't have to end this date before the wife get home and he not married today's date, that's all that matters. Like, what's the problem now? It's just always something. Like, please get a grip. Now, what I do want to know is, was this last relationship the marriage? And if you've never been in a healthy relationship and it's always been toxic, then maybe it might be you. It can't be everybody. Now, you done got into every relationship and it's toxic. That's what we need to be focusing on. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. What y'all think about Vernisha letting Ezell get her number? What did y'all think about that? I don't know. I didn't like that. Now, I know I might be in the minority and it might be an unpopular opinion. And even though this is mass confusion and they're like, oh, it's fair game, you could talk to whomever. How are y'all going to find someone in the end? So to me, this is Ready to Love, Let's Travel. Like, so let's sing the theme song. So it took me some time. I mean, it just don't make no sense to me. Y'all comment down below. Y'all know I'm coming back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.